Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the Coding Bootcamp Career Development Channel. I'm your online career coach, Ramon Smith, certified digital career strategist, certified student career coach, and CEO and founder of NODE, the network platform where Coding Bootcamp grads connect with employers and recruiters to create career opportunities. And I have the privilege now to have a short conversation with my partner with Node. Everyone, this is Samson Pollack, and he is the founder of Candid Connections. And Candid Connections has partnered with Node to provide information and resources to help Coding Bootcamp graduates connect with employers and recruiters to land opportunities. So, Samson, it's a pleasure to meet with you. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you, Ramon. Enjoying Sunday and getting ready for the week ahead. So, very excited to be here and talk about Candid Connections and move forward with this partnership with Node.
Sounds great. So, quick question off the bat. Little bit of background about yourself.
Yeah, so my background is in recent history. I graduated with a master's degree in information systems from Indiana's University Kelley School of Business. And that's really what kind of got me kicked off in my tech career and background. And ultimately, that's what drove me to Austin, Texas, and begin with in enterprise sales at Oracle NetSuite. And while it was a really fantastic experience, I knew I wanted to do something a little different than enterprise sales. And I did what 99% of job seekers do when they're ready for a new job or their next opportunity. And I went to LinkedIn and Indeed. And and I'm sure, like just like everyone else, after sending out hundreds, if maybe close to 1,000 applications, I only heard from a fraction of these companies that I had sent invitations out to. And the most frustrating part to me wasn't even the rejection, as I'm sure which no one likes. It was the fact that I was getting a no response. Like no one
Right.
was even in remote. I'm sure you speak with a lot of students who have this, but it was just sending into a void, and it's really frustrating not getting any sort of response because how, am I making progress? Am I even doing the right steps? And that's something that just questioning your value, and again, that's something I really took personally.
It definitely questions your value in the marketplace, in the job seeker marketplace. That is true.
Of course, and it's I don't want to say embarrassing because like there's a person for every job, but there's jobs where you feel very qualified for and you're not getting responses, and
Yeah.
it just hurts. Um, and so this was right around the time that Chat GPT was really starting to take off,
Yeah.
and it was, and I got, and again, I was using Chat GPT to give me advice on my resume, what I'm sure a lot of people are doing, or just how to get break into marketplaces, or just in the next opportunities, but I got to a breaking point where I was so tired of not getting any responses. I was like, you know what? Like, I was going to be like, F it. Like, I'm going to write to these people. I'm going to write to anyone I can on LinkedIn. I'm going to find email addresses. And I found a data broker who could give me the email addresses. And I built a little prototype just to kind of copy and paste my resume into ChatGPT plus the company's description. I wrote in short, I wrote customized emails to decision makers at companies I wanted to work for,
Nice.
saying, I want to work for your company, regardless. And this is the amazing part, regardless if they said they were hiring on LinkedIn and Indeed.
That's right. And that's the assertive way to do it, quite frankly.
It is. And you know what, Ramon? Not a lot of people, that's not something that's very natural to a lot of people. And I think again, we need all sorts of people, and you don't need to be natural at it, but I have a very outgoing personality and I'm not afraid to ask those questions. And then I was pretty angry. I wasn't getting anywhere in my job search, like 4 or 5 months in.
Right.
Um, so I, started, and to my amazement, the first day I set up this prototype, I sent out, 100, 130 emails, and I had to stop. And
Yeah.
not because I was getting tired sending these emails in the abyss, but I started getting a lot of responses.
Yeah.
Um, and that was what was pretty fascinating to me. People with companies I wanted to work for who didn't have job listings, who were entertaining conversations with me. And individuals, regardless of their business, don't take time out of the day to speak with you unless something piques their interest.
Correct.
Um, so I started having these conversations with um, potential hiring managers, and just to my amazement, I spoke with my father and I told him about all this, and he said, "This is a little unnatural. How are this many people willing to talk to you who aren't hiring? And I said, I don't know. And so doing a little bit of research, I found a concept that was pretty powerful. And it was something, I'm sure you're familiar with, Ramon. It's called the hidden job market.
Yeah, absolutely. I was trained in it. Absolutely.
Yep. And so a lot of people with Ramon's skill set are trained in it. I inadvertently tripped into it. But for those on the call who are not aware, it's the concept that 70 to 80% of all job opportunities in the market are not listed on a public site like LinkedIn or Indeed. And that's a whole other conversation why. But if you have any questions, you can message Ramon or myself about it. But the fact of the matter is it's not. So I figured if this worked so well for myself, why couldn't this work for other people? And this is something, and again, at the time, I didn't have a job yet. And I started doing this for friends and some family members, and they were getting first-round interviews as well. And it just started growing and growing. And, actually, it worked a little too well. And I currently have a full-time job at a company that I couldn't refuse to pass up. It was my deal management consulting role. And, I had, for now, I passed, I help my father on the weekends, but this is really his endeavor now. And Ramon's met him, and he's open to any questions as well. Yeah. But I am full-time employed, but a resource to the company. And that kind of what brings us today. And we came across Ramon. My father was the one who found him first. Yeah. And just kind of told him about the partnership and potentially what we could offer NODE. And Ramon and my father seem to have been very strong. So, Ramon, I could pass it back to you to talk about why, how you view Candid Connections and what NODE's all about and how the two work so well.
Absolutely. And thanks for sharing that. So a similar actual origin in terms of why I came up with the concept of NODE is because I've been a career coach for a number of years, and I've worked for a number of coding boot camps, and some of the top ones as well. And with that said, I noticed they all have the same problem because you're graduating these students with outstanding skills, tech skills that can be transferred and enter the tech job market, entry-level jobs, but they all have the same problem of not getting that first job, or some cases, like you said, not even getting interviews. So I began writing technical guidebooks that were from a career coaching perspective to help guide Coding Bootcamp graduates on a strategy to be able to land your first job, do your job search and land your first job. But then I started thinking, I need to create a system. And this is when I came up with NODE. And NODE is, again, a network platform to connect Coding Bootcamp graduates with employers and recruiters to create career opportunities. And the goal is it's not open to the broader job seeking market. It's exclusively for Coding Bootcamp grads. So when I came across your dad on LinkedIn, he and I hit it off really well. We had a great conversation initially, and then he told me the purpose of what Candid Connections can do. I looked you guys up, I looked at your platform, I loved it. And then that's when we had an additional conversation that led to you and I meeting, and we facilitated the partnership. So this is a great way to be able to partner and be able to offer the services to the constituents and the members of NODE to be able to present to them resources on how they can access employers and recruiters to create career opportunities. So this is great.
No, absolutely. And again, it does seem like a very natural synergy. And I mean, the thing that's really special about, I feel like, graduates from coding and tech boot camps is that regardless of industry or company size, everyone needs help with technology. I mean, across, all sorts of industries, everything from apparel to accounting to aviation. I mean, everyone needs someone with those skill sets.
Absolutely. Okay. On that note, we'll end this video. Please subscribe, like, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all on the next video.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ramon.
Thank you, Samson.